And people will always, they want to sell their home and they go, okay, right, of course I love the money attached to that, but there's nothing to buy. Well, today, right? Yeah. There will be tomorrow. There could be the next day. I mean, new homes are coming on all the time. Inventory is rotating so quickly.
Right.
That, active, sure, there's nothing. But pendings, look how many stinking pendings those are.
You just got to move fast.
You
That's the biggest
thing.
Go.
You
just got to be ready to go. And then
anybody who works with us as a buyer, they got an email within an hour of these 469 homes of when they went on the market. Actually, almost over 560 some odd homes. They had an email within an hour of these going on, and so they had that 2 to 3 day advantage. If you aren't knowing within the hour of when these homes go on the market, I mean, you're going to miss it.
Welcome, everybody, to team meeting.
Yeah!
That's great. Thank you. Glad to be here. The meeting today, we're going to talk about the stats of April 2021. And it's been quite a month.
So this is the theme, why you want to sell now. Mm-hmm. Everyone is worried about it, but why? Today you're going to find out why. Why you want to sell now.
Why you want to sell. And why you probably should have bought last year.
Yeah.
Hindsight's 2020. Yeah. Literally. Get it? I'm
You've
sorry.
been saving that for a while.
How did we not figure that one out until May?
It's really amazing. April last year, we had 228 homes sell. 2021 April, we had 234. Bonneville, Jefferson, Bingham counties. Yep. All three of those combined.
Because when you move, if someone's going to move here, they probably, would you guys say, they're a little open toward Rigby, toward Shelley, Idaho Falls? We're kind of open to all of that area. Yeah,
it's true. So the houses are selling everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a 2.6% increase of homes sold in the month of April. And here's the price ranges. Let me see if I have something I can point at the screen. Looks like I do.
This is his favorite.
201 homes below 500,000, but we are getting more and more homes in these higher price ranges. But this has been the biggest piece of the market that we've been watching, right?
Yeah.
And look at homes under 100. One.
Yeah. And it's 65,000, so I don't know what that was, but it was something.
As we looked on the market, under 210,000, the lowest price single-family home is at $210,000. Mm-hmm. So there's three under 210, and they're manufactured homes of one way or another.
Currently active.
Yeah. So if you want a single-family home, we were saying a few months ago, if you're wanting to be under $100,000, it doesn't exist. Well, under $200,000 doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
Or they fly off the shelf.
Yeah.
This is like the big Christmas item. Everybody's waiting for the doors and the big rush.
Like Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah, exactly. So here's year to date, 782 last year compared to 736. So year to date, 739, a little bit of a decrease from the year to date last year. What do you think that means? Does that mean that things are slowing down? There's less homes that sold, or what do you think that?
I was doing some data analysis, and we've been seeing that the first 5 months of the year, we've actually been trending down in sales for the last 3 years, but we've been setting records by the time the year ends. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean anything yet as long as we rebound. But 2020 was I believe, the highest amount of homes we've ever had on record sell, and it was higher than 19. So, I mean, we're still selling, and I think if the trend continues, it doesn't mean anything. It just means we're still going to have another record year.
Yeah. Well, and also just to remind everyone that we entered into a pandemic in the spring of last year.
Yeah.
And so that's got to affect those numbers. Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
With COVID outbreak, it's got to affect the numbers for spring of last year. I don't know if people were more apt to move or what that is, but I mean, it was such an exceptional year in so many ways. So, I mean, it's hard to predict what that means.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah. And there's natural seasonality in real estate, and the first quarter of the year typically is slower, especially in Idaho with school
Nobody likes to
and
move here in the
weather.
winter.
Yeah.
That's changing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that big of a decrease,
No.
right?
This is bananas.
This is the part where you probably should have bought last year because the average price was $267, and this year it's $356,000. So here, if my math is correct, I believe that's about 33%.
I think that is correct. So what's interesting about this is when we think about, when I said this theme is why you should sell, this gives you an indication of why you should sell. Now, people might come back and say, well, that also says why you shouldn't buy. Yet, what you just said is, last year, if you didn't buy, you're buying now. It's going to happen again. Yeah. This is right here, the reason why you sell and you buy.
And what was it last year? We saw 14% kind of overall last year. Yeah. Now it's 33. More than double.
Yeah.
Well, and there's a report that came out that said that they predict that Idaho Falls will leave the affordable area, like the under average price range, into the above average price range. We saw that happen with numerous cities in Montana. We've seen that happen with Boise and Utah areas, northern Utah. And so this is probably our new normal. So again, people say let's wait for the crash. Well, we don't have any signs of a crash coming. Our inventory is still so tight. Mm-hmm. So,
and Abby made a really good point thinking about if we look historically when we talk about whether this is a huge jump. If we look back and just did a 3% increase trend from the 40s till now, we are still below where we would have been if we just consistently increased 3% since the 40s. We are still below where we would have been at that point without our ups and downs.
And there was a study that we're still 4 to 5 years behind on new construction.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And if new construction kind of leads the way for existing home prices to increase, what just happened to lumber?
Oh.
It's gone crazy, right? That same lumber package you said was, what were those stats again?
So a friend of ours who's a builder built out a home last year. It's about 4,000 square feet, 2,000 above grade, 2,000 below grade. That same exact floor plan, just now, he got the bid and the lumber price is $39,000 more just for the lumber than it was last year.
And so if you're waiting for something to happen and prices are going to go down, if we're being led by new construction on existing homes, it's going up. It's going to drive the prices up. Plus, we have so many buyers right now that want in.
Well, and we talk about lumber a lot, but at the end of the day, there's a whole lot that goes into new construction, including concrete, and concrete is now an issue as well. So it's all facets. It's not just one piece
everything,
of the puzzle.
all prices are going up.
Well, I think this is where we're seeing that end result of the COVID pandemic. We are now in supply chain issues. Right? We didn't see that in COVID because we had enough prepared. Now we've hit that supply chain issue, and we'll continue to do that. We had a discussion with a guy who has a lumber mill in Salmon, and he just said, he goes, the problem is we've been 20, 30 years of not foresting in the United States. We've been depending on Canada. Well, Canada has run out their surplus. And so now we just don't have it. Now we don't have enough mills. We don't have skilled millers. We don't have that. So we can't generate our own. And so there's where our shortage also comes in. And you can't grow more trees tomorrow.
Interesting.
So we're going to see some probably alternative types of building materials.
We call that Miller time.
There it is.
So
that's what we got.
So that stat is
Thank
just
you.
April
Thank
to
you.
April, just the month of April. So we want to make sure that the year-to-date kind of matches too. And this big number of 33% isn't just a monthly fluke. But here is the year-to-date market average price, and it is the same.
Yeah.
So the whole market's moving, not just one odd month. And it's getting tighter and tighter, right?
Yeah.
So list to sold percentage, if you listed your house last year at 100,000, you got 99.9. This year you listed at 100,000, you get 103.3. And we're seeing that because of most homes have multiple offers. Yeah. What are you guys seeing as you get into a price range around 300,000 with buyers, and are they competing with more than one? What are you seeing, Brian?
Well, I mean, just about every home we list now, and it kind of doesn't really matter the price point. joking, but not really. I mean, we're getting multiple offers pretty much no matter what. No. If you're anything under 300,000, you're going to be competing like crazy. I mean, even the 300 to 500, you're still competing like crazy. Yeah. Sure, at the 500,000 mark, you might be competing against 2 or 3 other offers, whereas it might be 10 on the 300,000. So it's come big.
Didn't we have a house last week? How many offers came in the end on that?
I was thinking, don't know, 15.
Was it 15 or so?
12, 15.
Yeah, I mean, we had a home that went on the market Friday, had 27 showings, 14 offers, and the cash offer was the one that was accepted and considerably higher than list price.
Well, the cash offer doesn't have to take an appraisal into effect. That's nice.
Casey and myself last week both did offers on a particular property, and there were, come to find out, 30 offers on that same property. Sheesh. It does not mean to discourage anybody because it's all about strategy. It's all about what the package that you present. And I know we're going to hound this, we do every single time, but it is about strategy, and you can win because someone wins eventually. So. Yep.
Absolutely.
Good.
Well, and we talked a little bit about wondering this. I pulled this stat, and I've been wondering because we've been stuck at 101 for a long time, but yet we're feeling like there's all these offers in 20,000, 30,000 above. How are we at 101? But if you think about 3%, a $300,000 home at 3%, that's $9,000 over.
Yeah.
So that is a significant amount on average.
So the lower price range, you may see even a larger increase over asking
price. I probably should pull this stat on 500 and below. Yeah. And that might be an interesting thing.
So that's 3.4% for the month of April.
Well, and you guys already probably have this plan in the agenda, but just to pivot a touch is that, so on average, we're seeing 103%, right? Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk to Brian about how much he gets over 100% because, of his strategies and what he does
on our team.
On the selling side.
Well, I know what is our average right now. Instead of getting that 103.3, I mean, we're getting 106. Yeah, so I mean, just by simply doing that, you're paying for the commissions alone. So I mean, you're gonna get some money.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a good time to own something. So year to date, we're seeing just a tiny bit less, but it's still a 3% increase over last year, which means there is just still a ton of activity. And if you're a buyer in this market, you're feeling that. If you're a seller, you're feeling it. And so you got to have a good plan if you're either one of those coming into the market.
And what's interesting is you don't have to list your house today, but it's a good idea to come in and talk about it and get the information. Get with Brian, find out what your house is worth, talk to one of the buyer's agents, and get a plan so that if you decide you are ready, you are prepared to do that instead of all of a sudden finding a house you like, you drive by, oh my word, I'd love to buy that house. But we're 2 weeks behind because we haven't had a plan. And
you're competing with the guy that has a pile of cash and he's been, he hasn't gotten last 3 deals. He's ready to go hard and you got tons of things to prepare for still. So.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what we say all the time. With good information, you can make good decisions. We had somebody a friend of mine call me yesterday, and he had a plan to be able to, he wanted to sell his home and kind of make a plan where he could become debt-free. And he basically said, I think I can get this price. And between Brian and I, basically we said, well, you could get that price, but you could probably get $125,000 more.
More than he thought.
Okay, and he just was blown away. And possibly even more than that, right, Brian?
Well, man, he almost fell over.
Yeah.
He was ecstatic, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, man. And here I was ready to sell it for a whole lot less.
Yeah.
So, I mean, simply just by knowing, we ended up talking for 2 or 3 hours, and he had all sorts of information, and he just felt that peace. It just brings clarity to the situation.
Yeah, because, I mean, he thought he had a plan, but you have to have some representation on what's going on in the market, because a lot of people right now, I mean, he thought 425 was the high end.
Yeah.
So, and it's his equity. I mean, he deserves it. So anyway, let's talk days on market. So basically, we know that as we are moving forward, homes are selling quicker and quicker. So last April, homes were selling selling in 37 days, and it's down to 32 days, which is 13% decrease. Overall, year to date, we're seeing little bigger numbers, 45 days, and then it's down to 28. So basically, that's 37% we're trending year to date.
And if we think about the year to date of last year, we were in the midst, we would be in the throes of COVID at this point last year. So that 45 days, I think we saw a little tick last year as people were a little bit nervous. And I think it then trended back down toward the end of the year. But that's why I think we have a significant difference year to date right now versus last year.
Well, and I think we're going to end up talking more in depth about this, but that's an average. So that factors in homes that have been on the market for 200 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And those, there's a home on the market for 2.2 million and it's been on for a long time.
Yeah.
But then we've got the vast majority of the homes, especially under 300, under 400. I mean, it's 2 days, it's 3 days. So just to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's that can be a little bit deceiving, but if you look at overall real estate numbers, that's low. But really, we're seeing people who are watching this are seeing something very different. They're seeing, man, everybody's selling in 3 or 4 days. And that's true. But just remember, averages take into consideration all of them. And there are some homes that, are going to sit a lot longer.
And this is where you come in again. Your consultation is about your specifics. And so that's where you get your good information. It's specifically about your house and your situation. And your numbers might be different than this significantly.
Yeah. So here is what we're hearing a lot from people that are saying, oh, there's no inventory, and oh, there's just nothing out there.
I would sell, but I don't have anywhere to go.
I sell, but I don't have anywhere to go. Well, I think there's a common perception that's being created that we are selling way less this year than last year. And yes, we are down a little bit this year over last year, but not enough. I mean, we're still having an incredible year.
Like number of houses.
Number of houses sold. And so Jess is using a good analogy where basically before, in the olden days of the market, we would have a big lake and all of our housing inventory was out there on a lake. You could see it. You could row out to it. You could just kind of look at it. It'd be there the next day. It was kind of more of a peaceful market.
Calm.
It was calm.
You could take the
serene.
weekend and enjoy the water.
Yeah, you could hear that it's on the market Friday and then say, let's go look at it next week. And it was still there. Yeah. The water was calm. Right now, what has happened is it's just shifted into this fast river. And it's happening because there are more buyers right now than there are homes. And so it's created this fast moving water to where if you see a home, you can't wait until Tuesday if you see it on Friday, or it's going to be gone. You have to just go really, really fast, and you have to be ready to pounce. You have to change your strategy, okay? Which is why all the buyers, we need a buyer's consultation to be able to kind of get the game plan, to learn the plays and learn how to do it, because you can't do it the way we did it before.
You could take a canoe out on a lake without any experience. You don't jump in whitewater rafting without any experience.
Without a life jacket, without a helmet. I mean, it's a crazy little ride.
Yep.
So here's some interesting stats because we want to put it into perspective. And the perspective is that we are still selling a lot of homes. So a snapshot of April, 343 homes came on the market from Bingham to Jefferson counties. That includes Bonneville. Last year in April, 311. So we actually had more homes come on the market in April of this year than we did last year.
New listings. So people listed that's what people think is there's not, they are coming on the market.
Does it seem like that out there to you all?
In 2021?
Not at all. But
yes,
because of how quick the market is moving, how fast the river is raging, it doesn't seem like that. But guess what? More homes came on the market this year than last year.
Yep.
Okay? 50% of the homes that came on the market in April also sold in April. 59%. So they moved.
So they were on the market and sold within the same month.
Yep. 317 homes went pending in April as opposed to 261 last year. So even though we're down on the close side, it looks like in May and June, we're probably going to be up above of where we were last year. So we're kind of seeing it to where we're probably going to have another record year. So this myth of there's not as many homes on the market, I mean, that is true to an extent, but it's not that the market's less or the market's going down. I think people are waiting for a crash. Well, guess what? We're not seeing that at all. We're seeing the market still put in a healthy amount of homes on the market. It's just not enough.
So if I was looking at these two stats and I was talking to clients, that first stat is sellers. This is how many sellers we had enter the market. The second stat is this is how many buyers. we had in the market. And so you can see the increase, the difference between sellers. There was an increase of sellers coming on the market, yes. But look at the increase of buyers coming on the market. That is what causes an inventory shortage right there.
And then the difference between 343 and 317 is a small number, and that kind of shows our current inventory. That's part of our current actives that are right now. So 203 of those came on the market in April, and 64% of the homes that were pending were listed in the same month. So we're seeing, again, this is what happens when days on market's under 30 days. They're coming on and they're going off just about as quick as they come on. So anyway, that's really valuable data to just make sure your head is in the right place, because we talk about creating our own story. We need to make sure we have our story with the right information. So let's move on with current homes on the market. So right now, from Blackfoot through Idaho Falls, Bonneville County, through Jefferson County, there are currently 95 homes on the market. Last month there were 99, so we're down 4%. Again, based on the new homes that are coming on, it just shows that we're pending that much more. Absorption rate is 1.97 weeks. Okay, I never thought we would be calculating absorption rate based on weeks.
I almost put
It's
it up there in
always based on
days
months.
just for fun.
Yeah,
Well,
we've been doing days too.
Just to clarify what an absorption rate is how I describe it, and I think most of my colleagues would, is that if we didn't have any more homes come on the market, we'd be out of inventory in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So it's a very competitive market, and again, it goes back to our days on market and like looking at averages, but really, I mean, it's tight.
Mm-hmm. An absorption rate might not be as easy thing for the consumer to understand, but we put that up there because for us as agents, it is kind of our thermostat to tell us what type of market we're in. We always need to be watching that, because before you know it, it switches to the other side. Because when it switches, it actually switches pretty quickly. So
It's a leading indicator, right? there.
leading indicator, yeah, that's our big thermostat. So anyway, let's look at inventory levels
This one
here.
blows my mind.
This is inventory currently of our 95 homes that are on the market. And this is, again, Bingham, Bonneville, and Jefferson counties. So more homes are on the market above 500,000 than are below 500,000.
It's the first time I've seen that.
First time we've ever seen that.
More above than below. Nuts.
Sorry to
Go ahead.
I'm talking a lot. But average days on market, I want to talk about that again, is because what are we at? It's like 25% of homes that go off, they come back on the market. That can be a variety of factors. It could be lending, it could be all sorts of different things as to why a home comes back on the market. So when you're looking at average days on market, even though between 300 and 400,000, we've got 19, and then we've got average days on market of 62, that is accounting for those homes that are coming back on. Mm-hmm. And so it's important to like kind of have that thought, is that there is still opportunity too when homes come on, that it's a good opportunity to do backup offers.
Yeah.
So
Again, strategy.
Yeah, yep. Okay, so moving on here. So Bonneville, Bingham, Jefferson market overview. Currently right now, 469 homes pending. Okay, we have a healthy amount of pendings that are out there.
So I want to put that in perspective. Those are inventory.
That's inventory.
That is still inventory. So if you add our 95 homes to that, because they're not closed, it's just not active inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have a healthy amount of inventory. It just doesn't stay on the market very long.
Yeah.
I mean, 469 homes, I mean, that's a good chunk of homes for our market. But it's just going so fast. Nicole.
So that makes me think of a little Jim Carrey quote.
You're not going to be doing an impression
Oh,
right
yeah,
now,
I'm doing
are
an
you?
impression
Okay,
of Jim Carrey. So
You've been waiting for this for a long time.
I know. I've been waiting just every meeting.
Which movie are we talking?
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb
Nice.
and Dumber. So he says,
I know.
you have a 1 in a million chance of getting together with this gal. And he says, so you're saying there's a chance.
Yep.
So 469 houses. So even though you might be thinking you've lost out on these houses, maybe you've done 4 offers and they've all been dead. 469 houses, you still have a chance even less than 1 in a million, you still have a chance to get in those houses and, buy something. So if you're looking to sell, you got a 1 in a million chance.
Yep.
Well, and the odds are a little better than that.
I don't know if anyone's feeling encouraged after that.
But I mean, and people will always, they want to sell their home and they go, okay, right, of course I love the money attached to that, but there's nothing to buy. Well, today, right?
Yeah.
There will be tomorrow. There could be the next day. I mean, new homes are coming on all the time. Inventory's rotating so quickly.
Right.
That, active, sure, there's nothing. But pendings, look how many stinking pendings those are.
You just got to move fast.
You
That's the
just
big
gotta
thing.
go.
Thing
I
is,
mean,
You just
you'll
got to
find
be
your
ready
home.
to go. And then
Anybody who works with us as a buyer, they got an email within an hour of these 469 homes of when they went on the market. Actually, almost over 560 some odd homes. They had an email within an hour of these going on. And so they had that 2 to 3 day advantage. If you aren't knowing within the hour of when these homes go on the market, I mean, you're going to miss it. I mean, you are. Yeah. Ashley had, and she is not here today because she had a home that went on the market within an hour. She had to go to Rigby today and had to go show it. It went back on the market, which our clients are getting an email within an hour of homes getting back on the market as well. But she had some people who came to her so frustrated. They had 3 offers. They weren't even in the running. It's emotionally draining to go through this. And anyway, they found one they liked. Ashley kind of told them the whole game plan, showed them all the ropes, showed them the tricks. And within a week, they were under contract with the first house they wrote an offer on. Yeah. And they are thrilled. Yeah. And so it's just strategies. Yeah. It's just strategies. You have to know the game plan, the playbook. So average price of all those, 363, average days on market, 19. So we're going to be seeing, that showed the average days on market of close is 28. Next month, we already know that we're going to see those average days on market go down and down and down. Idaho Falls market overview. So currently on the market, there are 48 homes, and we're talking 11.8, a little under 12 days of inventory. So very, very tight market.
And that is within the 5 Idaho Falls high school boundaries.
Yep. We took out some of the rural areas. So that's within Skyline, Idaho Falls, Bonneville, Hillcrest, Thunder Ridge areas. So here's a look at the current inventory within Idaho Falls. And guess what?
Nothing under 200, huh?
Nothing under 200.
I double checked this when this came out. I went, what? Because
the
other one showed a couple.
Stats, don't you?
What?
You double check all stats.
I mean, I quadruple checked the stats. But because I'm like, wait a minute. And I went back to the total 3 counties. I went back and I looked at those ones that were under, and I found out they were all manufactured homes. So this is when I went, what? Nothing under 200.
This is a pretty big deal that we're seeing not only in the 3 counties, but in Idaho Falls, more homes on the market above 500 than under 500. Mm-hmm. And between 200 and under, it's basically non-existent. It's really between 200 and 500 is where all those homes are.
So if you're a seller, you're sitting here looking at this going, see, there's nothing to buy until we go to the next slide.
And as we look here, Idaho Falls current market view, again, within the 5 high school areas of Idaho Falls, there's 280 pendings right now.
So now we look at that and we go, okay, so there are over 300 homes on the market.
Yep.
Not 24.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so basically, so there were 280 homes that people had to choose from. It's like, there's nothing on the market. Yeah, 280. Did you see 280 homes pop up on the market in the last 45 days? Okay, well, then the market looks different. But you should have gotten 280 emails of all these new homes that went on the market.
Well, dependent upon your price range.
Yeah. Depending upon your price range.
If you were watching Zillow.
Good point. So basically, we're seeing homes selling quicker in Idaho Falls than we are in Jefferson and Bingham counties. That's what's bringing that up, which is no surprise to us that we're seeing it go a little faster. More people, more demand, more houses, you're going to see quicker movement. So anyway, all right. Well, let's turn some time over to our special guest here, Hunter Taylor. Go ahead.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It's been really exciting to be open the last few weeks, and we've helped a lot of people already get into homes. And I think the biggest thing is you have to understand everyone's in a different and unique situation, and that's what we want to help people understand is there's so many different products and loan types, and there's first-time home buyers looking for the very first home that they're getting into, and a lot of people may want low down payment or no down payment, and that's options. And then you have the opposite spectrum where people are looking for their dream homes. And I think that's what we want to help people understand is we are here for everyone, and we want to make that experience as clean, as fast, and as easy as possible. And you look at these crazy high numbers, and I think what is keeping people in the game is these ultra low interest rates. I mean, these are all-time low, and it's keeping monthly payments accessible to a lot of people. So we would love to help and see what we can do for you guys. So call us or come in, and I'd be happy to sit down with you. And we have a really good team that will support you. And we have a new team member here today. Her name's Marcy, and I think I'm going to have her. She's kind of behind the scenes, and she's going to be helping a lot with the loan process. So I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm excited to work with Hunter, and it's a learning curve, but I'm really excited. It's a different field than I've worked in, and I'm learning a lot. So it's really, really a cool field. Yeah,
she's definitely going to be behind the scenes and doing a lot of the work too. So super excited to have her. But
so Hunter, can I ask a question?
Yeah, for sure.
So when we're looking at this, and we keep talking about strategy to buy a house.
Yeah.
One of the strategies that you guys can offer at PRMI is they can get underwritten and have an underwriting approval before they shop for a house.
Right.
Which looks different to a seller on an offer.
Right. Yeah.
What does that take?
Yeah, so it just takes a really solid team, and a lot of people right now, they're sending out pre-quals, and to be honest, those may fall through. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that our lending is solid. So when you do go under contract in a crazy market like this, you close in 30 days, no problem. So what we want to do for our agents is we want to make sure that offer letter that we're sending to them is underwritten, seen by multiple people. And so when we hand that out, it's as good as cash. And, that's our main goal. So that's a great point, Jess. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. But, we just want to take advantage of what we can do here and be as competitive as we can. So that's a great point, and that's what we're trying to do.
Sweet. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and they can do an online application with you.
They can. Yep. So you can go to primeres.com/Idaho Falls, and that'll go directly to our branch, and you can fill it out, and I'll see it come through, and I'll call you immediately, and we can get going on that. So.
Awesome.
So a good story with PRMI. So a local teacher I know is just buying a home.
Yeah.
And you got him approved with the Heroes program. So we know that down payments are typically 3%. So this is a first-time home buyer.
Right.
So the Hero program is making it to where they only have to put half of the 3% down.
Yeah.
And the other 2.5% is a grant. So if they stay in the house for 7 years, eventually that goes away, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's so many different programs for teachers and healthcare workers and different industries. And, that was one of them that it fell into. So, you may be working retail, and there's, tons of programs for retail and just different things that people aren't aware of. So, that's what my job is, and our job is to help you understand what you can get into, and like Chad was saying, I mean, little down, little money down, and I don't think people fully understand that. So
yeah, because for example, with this home, a $400,000 home, they'll be coming in with $2,000 cash.
Wow.
Everything else, the closing costs are all included in the in the purchase price. So you can buy it for $2,000. $2,000. You can buy a home.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's fantastic. Awesome. So
Thanks,
go online
Hunter.
or give you a call. Thanks, Hunter.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank
Marcy.
you guys. Appreciate it.
And thanks. Welcome, Marcy.
Okay.
What do we got
Baton.
next? Is it me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun,
what have you been doing?
Okay, so again, want to talk about nosy neighbors because we love nosy neighbors. And so this is who we visited this month. It was really super fun. If you guys don't know about the exchange student program, I don't know if you guys knew any exchange students growing up, but we did, and I really enjoyed getting to know them from other countries. So they're looking for host families, and they're looking for that. So we had a talk with them. The Roadhouse Saloon, a super fun place. out down on the river, and they've got some really fun activities planned, live music every week and karaoke, blow it up parties. You guys know the balloons and candy. It was amazing. Altruist Prep. So we took a tour through the new Altruist Preparatory School that is now going in the mall where Sears was, and they are amazing. Some really cool things happening with that school and really cool programs. Teton Martial Arts, really fun for kids, or actually all ages, to learn martial arts. And then we've got the first rock concert coming back to Idaho Falls coming up in May. So really super fun. And that's all on our Facebook page, Nosy Neighbors. Go and check it out. This is what we've got coming up that we're checking out this month. Every week, the swap meet down on First Street. A very cool thing. If you didn't know, that benefits the DARE program. So that is how the Sheriff's Department, Bonneville County Sheriff's Department, supplements the DARE program, is through the swap meet. So very cool. If you haven't been to Calacas, you know I'm talking about it all the time. We went on May for Cinco de Mayo. But we've got the Edge Climbing Gym come up. Shelly is doing a cool family night in the park. Idaho Women's Business Center for women to help promote self-employed and entrepreneur women, and Sunnyside Gardens. So some cool stuff coming up in Nosy Neighbors. We love these local businesses, so make sure you're liking and following our page and keeping up with that. It's awesome.
Cool.
So does anybody have right now any success stories going on this past month with their buyers or sellers? Anybody have a great experience?
Chad had one. That was great.
Which one?
The one you just shared.
Oh, yeah. No, that's way cool.
Yeah, that was
It's
good.
awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. All right. So in this, Brian, let's talk about it.
Well, I can think of one that Abby and I were both on. No. And darn it, was it not hard. No, I mean, we had every possible curveball thrown at us on the sell side, where we went under contract and we were going to close in 30 days. Well, 15 days into that, their employment changed to, was it 1099 where so they couldn't qualify anymore. It's like, okay, that's weird, but a bummer. So we moved on to the next one. We got another deal, said they could close it in 15 days. Here we are the last 5 days getting ready to close, and we get the appraisal come back, and the appraisal was so low.
Wow.
I mean,
It was bananas.
but it was, and I had comps proving way higher, and they're like, no, this is the price. And then last minute we pull in the cash offer, close it in 3 days, and close it all out. And it was awesome. I was so happy, proud of their team, proud of my admin staff. We just did, Abby, we all did well. I was so happy.
Back at you.
Yeah. Nice.
It was-
Good job, team. Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
That's the stats, Jack.
We'll be back next month.
That's right.
There's a lot of changes every month right now. So we'll be excited to share you. And I'm excited to see what's going to be different between now and next month.
That's right. And if you're going to want to sell after this, give us a call.
Call us. If you want to be in the know on the value of your home, then click on the link or give us a call.
You may feel like prices are high, but there has never been a better time to sell your home and buy a home. Call us and we'll explain why.
Our team has outpaced the market in dollars per home sold and time on the market. If you want to see how your home would sell and how much it would sell for, give us a call.
If you love the idea of having someone to contact at any time, that's the benefit of a team. Give us a call, let us talk about your process and how you can have a better experience, a more satisfying experience in real estate with Murdock Manwaring Company.